All right. I bitch a lot about people and texting and communication, and a lot of my coaching clients, their biggest problem is communication, and I'm at fault for a lot of it too. So here's a story. I always whine. Look, I think when I talked about this last time, I thought it was because of who I am. It sounds like it's a really common problem. A lot of times I don't do stuff. I forgot how I did it. You get loneliness is huge in this world. I don't really know where I'm starting with this. I had a plan and it went out my head as soon as the live came on. So here's the problem. We're getting more disconnected. We're sending texts, messages, all that kind of stuff. But now it's becoming where it's almost too much, and we aren't necessarily responding to it properly. Man, that camera is so much better than this camera. So I made this big long video a couple months ago. I had tons of people reach out and respond, say they felt the same. And we feel lonely, we feel disconnected. Sometimes we just want a text, we want an invite to something, and if that doesn't come, it gets us down. And then I talked about how if I send you a text and you don't respond, we have this whole culture of this double text thing where you don't text them again. And I think that's stupid as well. I always text people. And so I made a claim that I'm still holding to is I always respond to a text or a social media message, something like that. So if you have sent me one and I have not responded, it means that it is still unopened and new. Because when I read it, I respond to it unless it just says okay, or it's a stupid ass emoji, or it's like a hearting a fucking message. Whatever this whole thumbs upping someone's messages is not communication. That doesn't count as anything. That's fucking stupid and you're a lazy prick. But and so this so I talked about how it sucks this day and age. You want texts all the time. You want texts from your friends and your family and people that you're close to, and you want to be connected to them. And sometimes it doesn't happen, and you wonder, hey, this person hasn't texted me in a week. And for me, with ADD, it's like if you're not in front of my face, I forget about you. So if you don't text me every day, you might not exist in my little world of what's happening literally in front of my eyes. These are the only things I know and can see. So it takes time for me to remember you, or something has to come up, because I only have a small amount of this in front of me working brain. And I think more and more people are getting similar to that. Honestly, ADD, I've always said, is a made-up disease. I think that just in general, we're losing our attention. So if you're not actually physically texting someone, they're probably not actually thinking about you. And I think that goes for most people. And so things I've noticed in the last month or two after I made this giant live video that everyone said they resonated with, and so which kind of sucks because it was kind of a sad one. And I was talking about isolation and loneliness and how, especially on this island's small. I mean, in Denver, I could make one post, one group chat message, and have 10 people ready to go hang out and do whatever I wanted. Oh, it was so nice. It was like, hey, I found Avs tickets half off. Who wants to go? I'm like, 10 people. Okay, we bought ours. We'll see you there. It was awesome. So loneliness and isolation is huge. Texting is cool and all that. Obviously, we want to see each other in person. And obviously, we want people to respond to our texts. And I am super guilty. So I have noticed at least twice in the last week, and probably more times than I've noticed, that someone will come into my mind. I think this is, Alex. This is literally about the director, my good friend he's finishing up a film. I guess we are finishing up a film, and we're going to be premiering it soon. And something came into my mind. I was like, oh, I need to text him. And I go to text him, and there's an unread message in our chat, and it's details. Hey, a question. I think it was a question I was asking again, and I had already asked it. But the way that I work is if I have 1,000 tasks, and I try to do as many as I can. And if there's wait for a response time, then it goes to the back burner, and I go do the other ones, and eventually it comes back up, and I go check on that task. So I was going to check on him, and turns out he had responded and I hadn't responded to him. So it was 100% my fault for a week or 2 weeks. And, he went through some shit, and I was yelling at him for not calling me enough. and then he responded, and I didn't respond to him for like 2 weeks. But then I dumped on him. So then I was like, hey, we got this for the movie. Hey, I got this for marketing plan. Hey, we got to do this. We got to do this. We got to do this. Oh, hey, nice to talk to you again. Hey, we should talk more. And so it was like when someone hits my brain, it's like it all piles up. And I don't know if that works with everyone else. I mean, let me know. Drop a comment. But I don't know how it works. For me, Alex enters my brain. I'm like, I should talk to him. Oh, and then maybe I'm driving, and then as I think about it, I go, oh, I should talk about this thing and this thing and this thing and this thing. So I've got 4 things. I go in, haven't responded to him in 2 weeks. There's an unread message from him. Start responding to that, dump those 4 things, and then he gets like a pile of shit. And I've done that to 2 or 3 other people in the last week too. So now it's me bitching and whining about people not contacting me. Oh yeah, actually, she I messaged her like a friend of mine like 2 weeks ago. She responded, and I just like blew her off for 2 weeks. And then today she hit my mind again. I went to go text her, and I was like, oh fuck, she responded. It's my fault for not getting to her. So now we still have no answer. I have simply just realized that I am part of the problem. So maybe at some point in the near future, we'll have a solution. And so for me though, if something comes in and it's marked new, text or WhatsApp or Facebook or email or whatever, emails don't even bother. I don't check those. My team does all that. Something comes in, then I essentially, if it's something I need to do urgently, I check it and respond to that. Otherwise, I leave it unopened for a while. Sometimes I get time to sit down and do it and respond to it, and sometimes I don't. So I think that I need to be better at responding faster to relationships. It's just hard to, when all that information comes in throughout the day, you have to like disseminate which is important and isn't important. And then it's hard to hold other people accountable when I am the asshole as well. So is that just how we communicate now? It might take up one message every 2 weeks. That sucks. I like phone calls. I call my friends often. Maybe I need to up that and call more often. Yeah, maybe I need to expand my board of directors and include more friends in it. Lots of things to think about. Well, hopefully that's